May 19th, 1536. Inside the Tower of London, a queen kneels on the scaffold. The air is still. The crowd is silent. She is 29 years old, crowned less than 3 years earlier. She is not a foreign invader, not a rebel, not a usurper. She is the wife of a king. This is the rise and execution of Anne Boleyn. Anne was never meant to wear a crown. Born into an ambitious but not royal family, she was educated in the courts of Europe, where she learned languages, diplomacy, and the art of influence. She returned to England refined, intelligent, and strikingly different from the women of the Tudor court. She had confidence, wit, presence. When Henry VIII noticed her, he was already king, powerful, charismatic, and used to getting what he wanted. He expected another mistress. Anne refused. She would not be hidden in the shadows like her sister had been. She would not be a passing distraction. If Henry wanted her, he would have to make her queen. And Henry wanted her. At the time, he was married to Catherine of Aragon, a union that had failed to produce a surviving male heir. Desperate for a son, and convinced his marriage was cursed, Henry sought an annulment from the Pope. It was denied. So Henry made a decision that would fracture Christendom. He broke from Rome, rejected papal authority, declared himself supreme head of the Church of England. An entire nation's religion was reshaped for one woman. In 1533, Anne Boleyn was crowned Queen of England. For a moment, she stood at the centre of power. She influenced policy, supported religious reform, commanded attention. But Tudor queens were measured by one thing alone: sons. Anne gave birth to a daughter, the future Elizabeth I, but not the male heir Henry longed for. Miscarriages followed. Each loss weakened her position. The king's devotion cooled. The court began to whisper. Anne had risen too high, too fast. She had made powerful enemies, men who resented her influence and women who envied her crown. In May 1536, everything collapsed. She was accused of adultery, of treason, even of incest with her own brother. 5 men were arrested alongside her. The charges were explosive, scandalous, and likely fabricated. But in Tudor politics, truth was less important than survival. Anne was taken to the Tower of London, the same fortress where she had once awaited her coronation in triumph. Her trial was swift, the verdict inevitable. Guilty, sentenced to death. On the morning of her execution, Anne did not beg. She did not confess. She did not accuse the king who had once upended a kingdom for her. Instead, she called him a gentle and sovereign lord. A French swordsman had been specially brought in, known for his precision. Anne knelt, blindfolded, and waited. In a single strike, it was over. 3 years after changing England forever, Anne Boleyn was gone. History would debate her character for centuries. Ambitious, manipulative, visionary, victim. But one truth remains undeniable. Without Anne Boleyn, there would have been no break from Rome, no independent Church of England, and perhaps no reign of Elizabeth I, one of the most powerful monarchs England would ever know.